Holla ballers, what's going on? It's Preachy, and I'm continuing our heroic series with the Gate of the Setting Sun. Absolutely tremendous instance, and I'm even bringing you a DPS point of view. Add-ons are in fact working on the beta realms now, so you can see some damage. We're going to be bringing you a lot more damage stuff as well. Now we can actually track what the hell we're doing. Don't worry a little bit about the UI, that's not the big issue. If we're getting it as close as we possibly can, a lot of add-ons aren't working, but we're getting there. That's right, a 326k Dragon's Roar. But let's talk about this instance. As you can see, this trash, the first bridge trash, actually sets you up for the first boss. Can anybody remember a little game called Bomberman? That's right, this entire first boss is based off Bomberman. You can see on the bridge the explosions showing you that these things go off in 4 directions. They go north, south, east and west. Those are very, very dangerous. If you stand in them, you are in royal shitsville. You are in King Kong's brown of the day. It is really bad news, guys. You want to stay the hell away from all that stuff. It's very, very dangerous. You can see there's loads of them setting off. So you're going to come to your first boss, this Striker Gadok. Striker Gadok is generally going to be done in one way. He's going to be beaten as quickly as humanly possible because people will never react quick enough to what the hell goes on in this fight. Generally, you're going to get an ability. The boss is going to put a debuff on you called Sabotage. Now, Sabotage means you're about to turn into a bomb and fire off a giant explosion which will fill the room in the 4 directions. You can see it happen to that guy there. And you can see at least the explosion takes half your health. At the same time, Gadok is going to be dropping bombs all over the place naturally. Just throughout the fight, every couple of seconds a new bomb will form. It's up to the tank to be looking, where the hell are these bombs? Where is my safe zone? Just as you would in a good game of Bomberman. Exactly the same. This is where it's quite fun. I very much enjoy this boss. He's been nerfed a little bit since I first did him. And his very first time we encountered this guy and we tried him out, he was very, very hard, in which case you could not even move through any of the fire things whatsoever. Now you do have the option to move through them a little bit, but still, it's a great fight, a lot of fun, lots of moving out of fire going on, but it can all be predicted. That's what I like. The person with Sabotage should be finding a place where he can stand. He knows the explosion is going to go north, south, east and west from his position. He should find somewhere that's not going to kill anybody and send flame waves into people. And you can look around and see these nice orange bombs lay down on the floor, and he's going to detonate all of them. You can predict exactly where that's going to go. Very, very cool. Nice little boss. Moving through the trash, you're going to end up coming to this elevator. I wanted to show you this lift because it's in first lift I've seen in WoW that involves the party, but it's activated by somebody. You're going to stand on it and there's a lever to your right, so you can actually pick and choose when the hell you want to go off. As you can see, the tank runs off. If we were on a normal lift that sets you off, run automatically, that guy would have been left behind. But you can see I wait for him to come back, then I click the lever, and that's going to bring us up to Commander Rimok. Commander Rimok is a nice big mantid. To give you an idea of what's happening in the Gate of the Setting Sun, this is the gate protecting us, keeping the mantid at bay, but they are assaulting it on a very, very regular basis. They're throwing insectoid lava at you. Fox and Scully, we need to see what's going on here. You know, there's loads and loads of insectoid alien bugs all over the place. Get it sorted. We're going to get in there. Now, Rimok has various little abilities. First of all, is Poison Blast. He's going to put that right on top of random people. It's not always on top of the tank. Usually it's on top of the tank, but I have seen it go to other people as well. He also has another ability called Prey Time, where he'll lift up a member of your party and he'll start chewing down on them. He's going to absolutely chew on their nuts. He doesn't do a great deal of damage. It's nothing to be really worried about, but it does take a player out of the game for a little amount of time. It can be cast on the tank as well. You need to be aware of that, and Rimok might go for you. His other ability is called Strafing Orders. He's going to fly off, and he's going to fill this room. Now, you can see this room is actually shaped like a plus sign. Okay, so there's 2 straight paths, either from east to west or from north to south. Now, you can see Rimok coming. You can see where he flies off. So the first direction when he says he's going to start strafing the room, you can actually see that's the direction he's going to come back in. And you can move to the side. So if he's going north to south, you just move to east or west, and you will not be hit by his flames, these explosions that fill that room. His second attack, his second strafe, is always going to be the other way. So if his initial attack was north to south, on the second wave, he always does 2 strafes. Is going to be the safe zones, is going to be the north to south position. When he flies away, he's going to spawn himself a couple of adds. Now, this sounds easy enough. They don't do a great deal of damage, but the problem is people get separated by the initial explosions in the middle of the room. So often you'll find the healer has actually ended up on the other side of the room, and he will have the natural aggro of these adds coming towards him. The technique there is to make sure that the healer, if you are the healer, is stick with your tank. Very important that you stick with your tank. As you can see, the flames don't do a tremendous amount of damage, but if you stand in them for an extended period of time, you are going to run into some trouble. I do want to point out while we're running through this dungeon, and as we've got some damage meters, is that you can see tank damage is a little bit out of control, but that was normal for the beginning of most instances when a new expansion comes. Once this boss dies, you actually have another objective to fulfill, and that is to go and find the 2 activatable cannons. You can see them at the back, and you're going to use these cannons just by right-clicking them to flak all the area above it. You can see you'll wipe out all the flying mantids in the area. That's going to clear the bridge below. I wanted to show you this because some people don't realise it. You can see the rest of the guys took the lift. The idea is that you clear the bridge of the flying mantids, and then there is a signal flare on the other side of the bridge. If people go too early like this, they will activate the signal flare, which actually generates and spawns the 3rd boss. Now, previously, that was a bit of a problem because the DPS who had stayed behind to do the cannons, if the other team had rushed ahead, were in trouble because they were trapped behind the boss. Blizzard has put in a teleport mechanic now. If that signal flare is activated and you are not stood with it, you will be ported. So do not try and run through the boss. You will aggro everything. This boss here, this is Saboteur Kip'tilak. Keep an eye out for him. And you don't want to pull him. Now, Saboteur Kip'tilak is actually a bit of a pain in the ass, but he's got good control. He's a combination of various bosses from around Nax level and the trash that we saw in the Stone Core. He's got his flay ability. Now, it's always a frontal flay. He will pause and he will start flaying the area in front of him. Very important that the tank moves behind him, away, out of that flay. And also bear in mind, tanks, that what you want to be aiming that flay towards the wall, reducing the area that he can actually be hurting people. You know there's some guys who just won't notice it. Simple things like that, the tank can counter. He's going to start continuously dropping poison underneath him, so the tank is going to need to kite him around constantly, kiting him all the time. Every time he does his flay ability, he will also summon 6 adds. Now, these waves change. The first 2 waves are just 6 basic adds, one very, very, very little health, but on the 3rd one, he's going to start summoning larger adds as well. These little extra big adds are going to come in and they're going to do various bits and bobs. They're nothing dangerous, nothing to worry about too much at all, but they do need to be tanked. They have a lot of HP. You're going to spend some time doing them afters. Now, this last boss is actually really, really cool. You're going to slide down a rope into the central courtyard and you're going to find Raygon. There's Raygon. We just saw a glimmer of him there. Raygon is big, he's bad, he's pissed off, and he's breaking down the giant doors of the dungeon. Now, there's a few things going to happen here, and the first time you step into this dungeon, you're going to be thinking, what the hell should I be doing? Raygon is focused, dead set on smashing down the door, and you will not be powerful enough to distract Raygon. Raygon is going to keep rearing back like he's doing there. You can see him backing up, backing that big fat ass back it up, baby. And then he's going to charge the big door. Now, as soon as you engage Raygon and actually attack him, the fight will begin. Now, these fireworks things I'm showing you on the right-hand side, you can see them against the wall. There's 4 in the room. They're dotted about. You can jump into those. Now, this is what the DPS should be doing. You jump into the fireworks launchers. You'll be launched onto Raygon's back, and you'll find something called the weak spot. If you've ever done Deconstructor in Ulduar, it's the same thing. You need to zerg this weak spot down as soon as humanly possible. Any DPS that aren't up on Raygon's back are doing it wrong. You need to kill this thing very, very quickly in order to get into phase 2. Very nice little fight. This is the way of distracting Raygon. You need to DPS this down. Tanks can jump up as well as healers. It's fine if you guys get up. That's okay. As long as you're aware that there's going to be adds spawning down below. And you will see a message saying reinforcements have been summoned into the fight. Jump down off Raygon when that happens. And then tank and DPS those adds. Now, they can be killed solo by a tank. They have very, very little HP. The rest of the DPS in the party should be entirely focused on killing Raygon's weak spot as soon as possible. This one big add that spawns down below needs to be interrupted. Prot Warriors shine. He's going to be spawning swarms of bees and insects around people, and they do constant, very annoying damage. They can be DPS'd and killed. That's no big deal. That can happen. That's fine. He will also summon a wave of small adds, about 8 or 9 adds that don't really do much of anything. They're okay. Once Raygon's weak spot has been killed, he actually becomes enraged and he's going to go absolutely insane. He also takes increased amounts of damage, which is always very fun. You can see these hurricanes spawning around the room. They just do damage. They don't knock you anywhere. They just do damage. That's okay. Just avoid those. In phase 2, he's going to fixate people. He's got 2 functions here. He's going to fixate anybody in the party, and they will get a speed boost, and Raygon will start chasing them. Now, he's huge, so you need to get running and get running quickly. Once that fixate is over, he will cast Slam and do some AoE damage to everybody in the group very, very quickly. Just slam on their balls, really stamp on your nuts, and then he will cast Fixate on someone else. If you are melee, you want to be aware that Fixate is being cast. It has a big cast bar. It could be you. Get moving. He can kill you very, very quickly if you're in range of him. Very, very quickly. You see, I'm just turning to the side, preparing to heroic leap. Get out of there, should it be me. If not, get DPSing, get killing him. Be aware, though, if there are any ads hanging on from the previous phases, you want to keep an eye on them. I give this dungeon 7 out of 10. Very, very nice trash. Nice 4 bosses. Really, really nice environment. Lots of fun going on. Sliding down ropes. Little 3 trash packs. All doing very nice things. Some interrupting to be done. Some cannons to be fired. Nice dungeon blizzard. Really enjoyed it, actually. I thought that was pretty cool. You take it easy, ballers.